Oh, there we go.
We're recording.
Okay. All right.
So this is how it begins.
Welcome to the Sparkle Lounge.
Hope that's not copyrighted. We'll wait till legal tells us.
We had a conversation today at work about apparently there's some, I forget what it's called, but there was some, like, legal proceeding where, like, apparently every written media is copyrighted. Like,
I mean, you can't plagiarize.
The U.S. government just doesn't
Sure.
enforce it, but, like, and, like, even your little scribbles from, like, your third grade, when you were in third grade, it's technically copyrighted.
It's technically copyrighted.
Plagiarism.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
That's what we call that.
and more importantly, it would
There's a
count
name.
if someone else came up with something. It would count as prior art to defend
Yeah.
being sued.
But anyway,
We're not lawyers.
yes.
We can't provide legal
You can
advice.
tell.
Or they may not be able to.
I
They
look,
don't know
we-
us.
I look like a lawyer.
There could be some places where we look like lawyers. Well, you. I'm clearly not a lawyer.
What do you look like?
I don't know.
Anyway.
Let's move on quickly.
Yes.
This is what you look like.
Is it?
Nikki.
If I had the hair,
Nikki 6.
Nikki
I would
6.
grow it out like that.
Yes.
Why are we here today,
So what
guys?
is Nikki sitting on?
So yeah, Nikki is sitting on Def Leppard's newest album. We're saying newest because it came out in 2015 and this is 2018. But we weren't around in 2015.
Hey, no one else noticed either. Well, we finally got around to reviewing it.
So,
Oh, hey, buddy.
Oh yeah, this is Colin.
Love you too.
Yeah. So on this podcast, we're gonna kind of talk about we're gonna try and cover some of classic rock's newer albums because they don't get nearly enough love, and the dogs will get involved when they can.
He's got lots to say about the
He's
album.
got lots to say, especially for this album because he's named after one of the guitarists in the band. So yeah, first up on the list is gonna be Def Leppard. Given that they're our far and away favorite band, and we're dragging you down with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Great.
And screaming.
Yeah. So, should we talk about overall how it fits into the entire
Sure.
catalog
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
whatever? Well, I guess I could open up with I'm not sure how it fits into the catalog. It's definitely not Hysteria, is it?
God.
We're
We're gonna fight
just
this
go
all
right
night.
there. Let's just go right there.
Okay.
So,
You don't know
without a
Hysteria.
doubt, this is a very Def Leppard sounding album.
Well,
Good.
Right.
so actually, yeah.
Which just makes sense because it's by Def
That's why they
Leppard.
named it that.
Right.
Yeah, apparently, yeah. Story.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, I think you guys watched the interview where, yeah, apparently after they were recording all the songs and stuff, they were all, like, kind of would go back to their homes. Phil would go back to LA, and like, Joe would go back to Dublin, and Sal would go back to, Sheffield, and they'd play songs to their friends, and everyone's like, oh, what's it sound like? They found out for themselves saying, well, it sounds like Def Leppard. So
Colin, come here.
Professional recording studio.
yeah. So Phil Collins was like, well, why don't we just call it that? We've never done it before, so, 40 years into the career, or a little under 40 years into the career.
They finally have a self-titled album.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
So that's where it fits. It is Def Leppard.
It is Def Leppard. It's
All
their
5 of them.
11th studio
Well-
album. 11th studio album.
Well, here's how popular it is. This is so popular that when I go into Walmart and I find shirts that have bands on them, you don't find this, do you? You have Pyromania, sometimes Hysteria, but not.
Well, I feel like that's the reason we're having this podcast.
Well,
Because no one
absolutely.
talks about
Sure,
the
sure,
newer
sure.
stuff.
Does anyone talk about Bon Jovi's latest album?
No,
or
and we will-
Asia's latest
we will
album?
get to that.
We will get to that.
Because we have very strong feelings about...
I don't like it either, but
What? Oh,
I'm
wait!
joking.
Okay, we'll get there.
That's a different podcast.
But yeah. Yeah.
I'm getting coffee.
Yeah, you get the coffee ready. While she was that, in case you guys aren't familiar, Def Leppard, formed in 1977, Sheffield, England. Their classic lineup was Joe Elliott on vocals, Rick Savage on bass, Steve Clark and Phil Collin on co-lead guitar, and Rick Allen on drums. Steve Clark unfortunately passed away in 1991. Moment of silence. And Vivian Campbell joined, and they've had that same lineup since then. So, yeah. Their big albums, of course, being Hysteria in 1987. Perhaps the greatest 62 minutes of...
63?
Okay, so
It's
63
pretty
minutes of music ever recorded. They first hit it big with Pyromania in 1983.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, let's do that.
Coffee is very important to them.
We need it. So, I mean, 11 studio album. They've been doing this for a while. Their sound.
Okay, speaking of that, it bothers me, kind of, that 10 isn't their 10th studio album, it's just their 10th album.
Let It Go. Which is on here.
No, it's not. Let It Go is on.
Oh.
Let's Go is on
Let's
here.
Go.
They have Let's
saying.
Go, Let It Go, Gotta Let It Go, and Go.
Right. It's kind of
They're super original with names.
because they're super original. Which reminds me of the sound of this album.
Oh! Okay.
Alright. Alright.
So yeah.
He's not allowed to talk anymore.
Yeah, we're gonna have some words.
Well, I mean, you guys are coming from a very fan-oriented perspective. I'm much newer to it.
No shit.
I'm much newer
Us
to this.
fans? What? No.
I really like 80s. I never really knew them in the 80s.
That's
You
a
know,
damn shame because you were alive
I know,
and we weren't, and that's not fair.
I get that I'm old. I get that. I was technically there.
Whose fault is that?
Well, I was raised a little sheltered, and and I was another thing.
You liked you too.
This is much later.
That was 90s?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's kind of a new. I mean, obviously the popular stuff they play on the radio, I knew that stuff, right? But a lot of the other stuff you never hear, right? You never hear Gods of War. You never hear a lot of that stuff on the radio. And so Hysteria, when I got that album, was an amazing experience listening to that for the first time. It's such a well put together album.
Mm-hmm.
It just works. Every song, it just works.
Yeah.
And there's a few missteps, but it's
It's
really good.
I heard it a year ago for the first time.
Right.
Well, him too, right?
In essence, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is definitely a Def Leppard album.
Mm-hmm.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff. I think it has a hard time. I think it has a hard time standing out from the rest of their work. Comments.
Fight me. Alright. Caitlin saw them right before this album
Yes,
dropped.
actually.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, no, okay, actually, so Def Leppard was interesting for me because I did know I knew when I went away to college, my dad gave me Pyromania, Hysteria, and Adrenalize on CD, and so for entire semester I had each of them in, but I didn't know who the band members were, I didn't know anything about them. I was telling her the
I
other
was
day.
specifically referring to the opening.
Yeah, I'm getting there. So basically, I knew all
So
the
he gave
songs.
you the good albums. Oh, I'm sorry.
Anyway, so I knew the songs, but we went to see the concert, and I'm gonna admit that I went to see Night Ranger, who was the opening act.
That's great.
Some
Some people still refer to you as Sister Christian.
Anyway, Jack Blades thinks that's my code name, but it's fine.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to know the truth.
Doesn't-
Hopefully he doesn't see this.
Exactly.
He probably won't. But so I do like a lot of their songs, but when I saw them was in October. This came out, I think, October 31st. You can fact check me on that. But it was before this album actually came out, but they were still playing. I think they may have only played one song off it. They may have only played.
Which one?
They opened with Let's Go.
Okay.
They opened with a song
They hadn't released yet.
that they had not released yet.
Okay.
Because
Speaks
Leppard
to-
can do
And
that.
by the
Speaks to the power of the song.
And, well, the power of the song being, I went to that concert and I bought a Def Leppard shirt before the middle band, Foreigner, came on stage. And after Foreigner, I remember turning to my dad and being like, they were so good. Like, and I was almost like afraid, like, maybe I should have gotten a Foreigner shirt. And then, before that first song was over, I was already like, okay, yeah, this is my favorite band. And never turned back. Like, so, yeah, a song off this album is what actually sent me down this hole.
They're so freaking metal.
Okay, you get
That
it.
they can open with a song that no one has ever heard, and it can still...
This might be a good transition to Let's Go.
Let's go. Maybe we should go through
First
songs.
song.
Sure.
Is like written to be an opener.
I was just going to say.
And
it's
they clearly set out to write the perfect
It's
opening
perfect.
song, and it works.
It's clearly written to be an opener. I'm not sure how you'd use it outside of an arena context. Right? It's good driving music.
You can
Start off a
run
road
to
trip
it.
with it. It's
Yeah,
good
running.
to run to.
You can clean
It's
to
not a
it. You
casual
can really do
listen.
anything
Well,
to it.
yeah.
I listened to it at work,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. It's designed to be an opener, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It definitely loses something when it's not in that context, but it works perfectly in the context.
Oh, I
So
completely
well.
agree.
So, my first Leppard concert, they opened with this song as well. Just last May.
That's right.
And it was Poison. First it was Tesla, but then it was Poison. It was Leppard. Well, Tesla, it was still daylight outside. We were fairly far back, in a fairly small amphitheater, but still fairly far back.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know any of Tesla's stuff at the time. And so I remember sitting there listening to them and really thinking, I mean, how much better can Leppard be? Because, I mean, they sounded good, right? They sounded good. I had no concept of what a concert of their production level is like. So, I was like, how much better could it be? And then Poison came on. I was like, oh, okay.
That much better.
Here's a band, but really, like, there is nowhere to go from here. Because they had all lights and everything too. You know, they still had their whole big show. I mean, they were still an opener, so they had a short set and everything. But like, it was a pretty big show.
They still throw down.
Leppard left no room for competition. So
I'm not disagreeing with it.
Starting with Let's Go.
I'm not disagreeing with the first song of this album.
Because when that
fantastic.
it was actually when Shoot the Thrill came on.
Oh yeah.
That we jumped up screaming, but as soon as Let's Go actually hit.
Oh yeah. Well, because it starts with that ethereal,
the first time I had ever lost my mind.
And then Joe's like, "Do you really, really want to do this now?" And you're like, "I don't know, do I? But I think I do." And then it's just, oh, it's so perfect. Welcome to the edge of your seat, indeed.
Okay.
I can't disagree with any of that. I'm glad you had these wonderfully subjective personal experiences.
I'll agree with you that like if it comes on like a lot, like in the car or something, it's one that you have to be in the right mood for.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying there's no little few gems on here. Semi-precious. So. And I mean, Let's
a lot of money
Go is fantastic as an opener, and it's great to be the first song on the album. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have no issue with that.
Cool.
Yeah. It does open up.
So let's move on.
Okay.
Dangerous.
Oh, talk about a good song.
Mm-hmm.
I like Dangerous there.
Really? Would you like to elaborate on that? Oh, Colin.
If you can't sing
Sounds
the guitar
good.
solo,
Got a
you
nice
don't
beat.
know
You
the
can
song.
dance to it.
Yeah.
Colin,
see, that's really the shame, right? Because you've never seen Leppard on tour.
Not yet.
And this year they're opening with Rocket, which is awesome.
26
But
days.
you're not going to get to see them open with Let's Go, and that's.
Also, he's not going to hear Dangerous because they're not playing that this tour. They played that last tour as well.
They played
which
Manna,
was incredible.
Which we'll get to that, but yeah, Dangerous.
It's a good song.
It's a great song.
I like it.
We're in agreement. That's boring.
It is boring.
Moving on. Man Enough.
I mean, it's clearly
Okay.
the best song I've ever had, but.
Most quotable song.
Man
on the album,
Enough?
probably.
I adore Man Enough.
Are we gonna go into like an aside about the music videos?
Okay. We can do that now.
Maybe that's its own
Leppard
show.
needs some ground rules for their music videos. We have determined that.
They're
We have extensive evidence.
they're much better than they have been.
You can't blanket sweep that.
No.
Yes.
Because
Some of that stuff.
Well, no, because like Sugar's second video,
Yeah.
Armageddon it.
No, I'm not talking about those. But there was a point.
As a rule.
They went down the let's let our kid, our neighbor's kid, do the CGI.
Okay, like Let's Get Rocked and Stand Up
And you know, I mean, so at the same time you have Jurassic Park coming out.
Let's
You
Get
have
Rocked
Leopard
is
videos. Okay. There's a difference between the two. You're not going to confuse one for the other.
But it's not like it's like back then and now, because on that same album you have the Let's Get Rocked video, which is awful, and the Make Love Like a Man video, which is awesome. So they just constantly.
We
We showed it to you 2 days ago.
It has the weird like other scenes intercut, but then
Oh, yeah,
it's just
yeah.
off and
Yeah.
having a great
Yeah.
time, and it's
Okay.
so much fun.
Yeah.
Well, okay, and I'm not talking about the ones where it's basically concert footage, because that always works. It's
Yeah.
universal. It transcends time. But like Leopard. Ouch, buddy.
I thought you were reacting to the thing.
Colin doesn't like you being mean to Leppard.
No, he doesn't. Okay, I'm missing toes. Okay, I give up.
There is a
Let's move
second
on.
dog. They're down here playing.
They're
They're
biting
not
each
just
other.
biting our toes.
Yeah.
They're biting
Elliot
each other,
Colin.
and they're happening to
I
clip
put my foot in bad place. It's me. That's on me. That's on me. We don't need to talk about the videos.
Man
I guess.
Enough.
Man Enough. Oh yeah. Sorry, yeah. Man Enough. Great song. Great
So
opening
Man
lick.
Enough, I actually did not love. So the night before our first concert, it was our finals week. It was our last finals
That's right.
week of college. And I decided to go for a run, but we hadn't gotten home till like 11 o'clock that night or something. I don't know. So I was just going for a run. I literally put Let's Go, Dangerous, and Man Enough on a playlist and listened to those 3 songs on repeat the entire time I was running.
It's an interesting set, right?
Well, it was because it was the 3 off the new album that I really
Sure.
didn't know that I knew that were in their set list that year.
Sure.
Right. So I wanted. I mean, everyone concerts are more fun if you know the songs. So I was doing a little studying. So I listened to those that night. Man Enough was definitely the one that I was kind of like, oh, it's catchy. You get into it, but like, we'll see. As soon as I heard it live,
Mm-hmm.
Leppard is one of those bands that a lot of their songs They just are better. You feel them.
Well, they
live.
talk about that
And,
themselves.
Yeah.
They talk about how they're great live.
Right.
And without a doubt, they are. And I can see that being a great song. You know, opening bass riff.
Mm-hmm.
It's very Queen. Right.
And it's just
it's
such a change up from like Dangerous, which has like so much going on. It's the more honestly, it's more classic Leppard going back to Hysteria and everything else. There's just a lot more kind of that orchestral sound going on in that song. And then you get to Man Enough, and just right at the beginning, it just breaks it down to that very simple like bass line and
very little guitar
a driving beat and just Joe's voice, and it's glorious.
Yeah, it's all built around that bass lick.
And you bring up a good point, because I mean that's another word I would use to describe this album would have been overproduced. And there's a lot of
you don't think Hysteria is?
Well, Hysteria is.
It's a different way. I'll give it
and that's why I keep thinking. So now, mind you, I mean, what do I love about Def Leppard? You know,
big production,
background vocals. I mean, it's
their background vocals are iconic.
They're really good at that. They have a sound. Hysteria is fantastic, and it's that overproduced, mutt-lang. You know, layering on top of layering on top of layering.
Like individual notes for Hysteria.
Individual notes. Fantastic album. This is in the same vein, right? But it doesn't work for me. Some of it sounds busy. It sounds like Def Leppard, without a doubt. It definitely sounds like Def Leppard.
It's less polished.
If you put...
it's not nearly as produced, I don't
well, maybe it isn't. Let's say you take one of these songs, like Dangerous, and stick it on Hysteria. Does it fit in?
Well, no, 'cause
no.
it's a different album.
Well, okay. It kind of stands out. I mean, if you stick it on any other album, would it be a good song on that album, or would it kind of fade out? It's a good song on this one. It stands out.
Okay, but I don't feel like that's fair with Leppard because all of Leppard's albums are very different. Like, you can take Adrenalized, which has so many great songs.
Sure.
Take a song that is fantastic off of it. Say, Stand Up. You could not put that on any other album and have it work.
Well,
still, like, because the tone of each album is so different that I don't think it would work transplanting any song onto any other album.
Yeah. I get that.
They're good about keeping a similar kind of tone through the album.
Maybe this is a bad game to play. Maybe we need to get through the rest of the songs. But it's one of those things of, okay, if I had to pick my top 10 Def Leppard songs, top 10.
I would give up.
Well, how many albums?
Yeah, I would give up.
Let's say there's 11 albums.
11 studio albums.
Okay, so let's say you take top 15 Def Leppard songs. Do any come off of here?
For me,
Dangerous Might.
Dangerous Might.
Let's Go or Man Enough. Probably would.
Ooh, actually, okay, so we're gonna get to it.
High and Dry's got a lot of good stuff.
Invincible Might.
Really?
For me, yeah. Oh my gosh. Wait till we get to it. Let's say, we're gonna get that is actually probably, that's in the running for my favorite album.
I would definitely get either Man Enough or Let's Go. It would be hard to pick, but it would be one of those.
You're a bassist, so you're gonna.
I am. Yeah. Man Enough is so fun to play. Yeah. And honestly, if I remembered how much I loved it when this tour, because I thought they had gotten rid of all the new songs, and then when they played Man Enough on tour this year, I was like, holy, yes, exactly. It was like, thank you. I'm so glad you're still playing it.
But what I'm saying is, out of 11 albums, let's say you get the top 20 songs that you want out of all the 11 albums, you probably can only get 2 off.
Well, then that's taking 2 off of every album.
Is it? Would you take 2 off of every album? Would you take 2 off of Hysteria?
See, then
you rack and stack that, you know.
But again, I feel like they're so different that I feel like I might, because the albums are so different that maybe I would objectively, if I compared every song on Hysteria to every song on here, most of them would outrank most of these. Yeah. However, if I'm putting together a playlist of top 20 songs, I'm gonna want some variety in that. Therefore, of these type of the Hysteria type songs, yeah, I'll pick 2, and then I want 2 that are a little bit more different.
I think every single song of mine would come off of High and Dry, Pyromania, Hysteria, and Adrenalized.
Just the album's musical taste range of a teaspoon.
That could be true.
No, man, nah. I would definitely take at least 1 song of every album, because every album has at least one song that.
Album. But it's gonna be really
even
hard.
Back to like
really hard not taking 5 songs off of Hysteria.
But again, I mean, if I was really picking favorites, I feel like at that point I would look at that list and they would go, well, if I objectively considered, what's one of the songs, maybe something like Excitable. I adore Excitable. It individually probably I can probably say it outranks every song on here. I can feel okay saying that. However, if I'm again making a list of really what are top 20 across the board, well, if I've got other songs off Hysteria on there, I'm gonna pick one of these instead.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
We're not all gonna agree, so that's fine.
It's not that I hate this album.
He just knows he has to balance out the other two of us because we're gonna overly.
Well, I don't
too
have
much
this
credit.
Stockholm syndrome like thing you guys have, but seeing them live and
They've got a thing about bondage
obsessing
and
about
stuff.
them.
We'll have to come back. We'll have to do an episode on like Hysteria or like some
Really wanna go
classic
there?
album after you've seen them live.
Absolutely,
We'll
absolutely.
revisit
But
this.
let me admit this is that
In a few weeks.
I mean I've only ever really listened through it this week, getting ready for this podcast video. Every time I listen through it, I like it more.
That is a good point. I think you guys were saying earlier was that I definitely found with albums that you listen to it for the first time, 1 or 2 songs pop out. You listen to it again, another 1 or 2 pop out. By the time you listen through it a couple times, you find that you actually kind of love the whole thing. Not all the time, but I feel like a lot of albums I see that happen with.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, let's continue with songs
Next
because there's
song.
more ones.
We Belong.
We Belong.
Oh yeah, the one where they all sing.
Right. So okay,
Super
as
cool.
Video's okay.
I haven't seen the video.
CGI. You won't believe it. They use computers.
As I was saying.
Coffee's going straight to my head. It's great.
Are you feeling energized?
I'm
We're
feeling
not there
dick.
yet.
Yeah, let's wait for that. Let's wait for that.
Hold off on that one. Build to that.
Anywho's.
Okay.
We Belong.
We Belong. Okay, We Belong is just a super great song. Honestly, because it's so different. No, I will say, again, if I was ranking, if I had to make a list of top Leppard songs, it probably wouldn't go up there just because, I mean, I think the attraction of that song is the fact that they all sing, that it's it's a song that's meant to hit you in the feels. If you love them, and it does every time, and it works so well for me, and it's one of my favorites off of this album because of that. However, I will acknowledge that probably if you're just looking at it from a purely musical standpoint,
Yeah, but I think.
I don't know.
But I think it would have been a good song even if it was just Joe singing the whole thing.
really, see, that's the thing that I don't think I can accurately judge that. That's why I give that caveat.
No, I think
is
it would
that
be, it's got a good
I'm
sound.
gonna be
It's got a
obsessed
good
with it no
feel.
matter what.
Honestly, I kind of forgot about when we were doing the Would You Take songs off this album. Forgot about
that one. Right.
Honestly, it's up there with Love Bites for me of like
Okay.
favorite ballads.
Absolute favorite ballad,
It's a good ballad.
We Belong
It's
is
good.
so good.
It's a
And it
shame.
is sweet because they did it at, again, almost 40 years into their career, and all of them singing it, and they did it as a fan tribute, as a,
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Even Rick singing, which apparently had
Rick
convinced
finally
him to.
had to be convinced into singing. All of them sing twice, except for Rick, who only sings the once because they have Joe open it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's Joe, Phil, Sav, and then Viv in the
Who's
first
got the
verse.
deep voice? Is that
And then
Phil?
sings second.
Is that
He's
kinda
got a
gravelly?
very rougher,
Yeah, it's really
gravelly.
roughly.
Yeah,
Okay, I still
that's
thought it was him.
And then second verse, Rick starts it off. I guess Rick didn't want to start the song, which
Understandable. You start with Joe, and then you can transition. And
right, and so then Rick sings the first phrase of the second.
You know,
verse.
he's sitting there going, we've been playing for 30 bleeding years.
almost got away with this.
Drummer, why are they making me sing?
Well, they used to put a microphone in front of him, and they finally took it away when he was just never going to use it.
Because he doesn't do background vocals, right?
I mean, like Make Love Like a Man, that video, like he's pretending to sing in that.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's sad.
At that point, but
That's a video we need to talk about, but not today.
Not today.
Oh no, I was thinking stand up. Sorry.
You're thinking stand up.
Yeah.
But okay, yeah,
you
We
know how
Belong.
you feel about that one. So yeah, We Belong is just if you just want.
Nah, it's good.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. It's a good
Okay.
ballad.
What is 5?
Invincible. All right.
That's a great song.
Okay, this is definitely a song that I did not love. So when I first listened to this album, like started really listening through, for a long time it was definitely those first 4. It was like, well,
Yeah.
I like the first 4, and everything else after that kind of fades and blurs together. And I do think after that they start to get they do start to bleed together a little bit more.
Sure.
There's fewer standout songs in that.
Those first 4 are rock solid.
Those first 4 are super solid, and then after that I do think they sort of tend to kind of bleed together and they can fade in the background more. However, there's a few gems like Invincible.
Invincible's great.
Oh my gosh, the lyrics of that song. Musically, I don't know. I'm not that picky, to be honest, but
I can tell.
thank you. Harsh, tough crowd here. But lyrically, that song too is just, I adore it.
Which one was
That was a
Invincible?
late hit for me.
Because, gosh, a lot of these all sound the same on here.
Oh, I'll play a little clip of it. Here we go. We got this.
It's low. Joe's not screaming in the highest register note of it.
Right.
Which
Well,
is
he can't really anymore.
He can't do like.
I mean, photograph's hard for him now.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, photograph
exactly.
is hard for anyone.
That was
It was hard for him back then.
Sure. But I mean, he probably hurt himself singing that.
Apparently,
Oh, I'm
not
sure
on
he did.
Google. So
I have it right here.
here we go. No, it's right here.
How many seconds will you play with the lawyer show up?
Another good bass lift.
Yeah. It's very Def Leppard-like.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not saying it's indistinguishable from All Time High or.
Oh, but it is. Oh, but it is. It's such a sweet song. It is so great. I adore it.
I'm going to continue.
I'm here for the lyrics on this song. That's
if you
that's
only,
where I'll leave.
I will give you. If you've listened to the album this week, yes, the back half from those first 4 songs on, it all runs together. But once you, I think if we came back to this in a month and you were actually listening to it, you would very quickly tell them all apart.
Okay, we'll come back in a month and we'll see where I'm at.
Alright, update in a month.
Yeah.
TV.
Okay.
To be
Invincible.
continued. I'm sorry to say TBD, but to be continued.
A Sea of Love.
TBC. What?
Only we had the album.
Sea of Love is next.
Okay. I love Sea of Love.
I'm okay with Sea of Love.
I find it very catchy. I enjoy it a lot.
It's catchy. It's catchy. Again, I am very lyrics oriented, which is why I love We Belong and Invincible and all this album. Sea of Love has never hit me right on that, so it's just very wishy-washy.
Agreed. Wholeheartedly. I'm glad we can find some common ground on this album to talk about.
Yeah. I mean, I don't get me wrong. Like, it came on today in the car on the way to work, and I was actually like, oh, I actually enjoyed that way more than. So it may still be one that's kind of growing on me. It's definitely one that I can enjoy from time to time. It's just, if it were to come regularly on one of my playlists, I would typically skip it.
I'll give you. Yeah, it's not what I listen to every day, but especially when it first comes on, it's just it's a good hook. Hi, Colin.
Speaking of Invincible, so my text to her when I brought him home, and he was this tiny puppy like this. I sent her a text with a picture of him lying on my bedroom floor and said, I think all it said was, I'm invincible because my love is here to stay.
Yes, she did.
And that was the best use of that song ever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay then.
See, he was here to stay.
Is Energized?
Energized is next.
Energized.
All right, y'all.
Oh,
and fight.
Let's go.
So.
Do you want to get hit?
Yeah, let's do
Consider
this.
your next words very carefully.
For a song labeled Energized.
That's not right. We know where this is going.
For a song labeled Energized, it's not terribly energetic.
Because, every song is named exactly what it sounds like. Mm-hmm.
True. I think the chorus something about, what is it? I'm
feeling energized.
I'm feeling energized. Something. I think I was feeling medicated. It'd be about the right tempo for that.
Have you ever actually listened to that song when you needed to get pumped up and all? It does.
It doesn't pump me up.
It doesn't get me
faster,
it's not like one of those it's not like Separate Ways by Journey, right? Where it's you listen to that and you're immediately let's go for a run kind of thing.
Well, that's not me either.
What?
Separate Ways?
What is it? Oh my god.
I'm sorry? Have you ever heard the intro to Separate Ways? Jonathan Cain?
Yeah.
What? Evidently
wait, maybe I'm...
You're not thinking the right song. You got it?
Worlds Apart, right? That song?
Yeah.
You know.
If that doesn't set you alight, then...
Yeah. No, that doesn't. I mean, yeah.
They're opening with that this year.
That's good.
Get pumped. Oh my god.
Wait till you hear
great music video.
This doesn't light me up nearly much as Stone in Love. I think that's a great song.
Okay, Stone in Love is a fantastic song, but in a different vein.
As far as
Sure. But in terms of getting ready to run, no, that one, no, that's a terribly sad song.
Oh my gosh, but musically, it just psychs you up.
Yeah.
Mia.
Well, okay, I'll give you that.
That's what I'm talking about there is musically. It doesn't. So Energized does not do that. I will say if I'm picking a song to go running to, Energized is not necessarily going to be top of that list. However, it is definitely a song that if I'm kind of feeling meh kind of thing. I remember last summer I was helping my sister coach swim team and we would drive and she knows nothing of Leppard and had only all she knew of Leppard was that I've apparently fallen off the deep end and some like bands and things.
Some sort of cult or something.
That's pretty much what they think. Anyway, so I had this album in because we had just gone to those concerts and this was what I was currently obsessed with because that was most of the stuff that I really didn't know from the concert were the few songs off these albums, off this album. So I had that in the CD player, and that song in particular, I remember that's when I fell in love with that song because we would be dead of summer after swim practice, windows down, all that. It was just, it's a good, it has a driving beat. It has it's very catchy. I think it's one of those songs also that if you know the lyrics to and you're singing along with it, you do get very into it.
I know you're gonna hit me again, but there's plenty of songs in my life where the song is conflated with the experience, and whatever song would have been there might have worked for that.
No.
Whatever song.
That was definitely it was the song that was the pick me up there for sure.
Okay.
That's a valid point. That's definitely true in some cases. But.
Obviously, I'm a bit more bitter and cynical than you two. I'm coming from a very different place. This is fun, though.
What's next?
These are good questions.
After Energized?
If only we had a list of songs up there.
Oh, wait, it's on the back of the album.
All Time High!
Let's go! All Time High! That's a fun song.
It's not bad.
It's a fun song.
Yeah. I'm sure it's fun. It's fun.
It's so much fun.
Yeah,
I think that's also Energized going into All Time High. It's a progression that works. Honestly, I think going from I think that's what I dislike about Sea of Love is that I adore Invincible. It's coming up from We Belong. Okay, let's just keep backing up here. We go from We Belong, which is the soft, sweet ballad that's rip my heart out, make me cry. Then you go to Invincible, which is still kind of it's kind of a sad song, but it's a triumphantly sad song, kind of, right? And it's a little bit more.
Sure.
It's not so much of just a soft, sweet ballad kind of thing. Sea of Love to me breaks it up, and then you go into Energized and then All Time High. So to me, there's just this whole building thing going on. Sea of Love I'm just not as into, so that's where that one kind of falls short for me. But that whole section of the album is probably my favorite stretch of the album.
Yeah. And that's not a good album if it is laid out well, right?
Right.
Yeah.
If you could do a better job laying it out, then they did a poor job.
Sea of Love just should have gotten scooted. To me, the rest of them made a better progression than having Sea of Love in there.
And don't get me wrong. This is again.
I just realized.
This is a good Def Leppard album. I'm just saying it's not the best by any means, by any stretch of imagination.
Well, it was hard when your other albums are Adrenalized and Pyromania.
Absolutely.
Everything was downhill after Hysteria.
Well, okay.
You can say that.
Yes.
Head and shoulders above what? Slang.
No, see,
Sparkle Lounge.
Okay, I adore Sparkle Lounge.
Sparkle Lounge is actually surprisingly good.
It might be my second favorite album.
I was not expecting to love that album as much, and then she found it at a record store and brought it home to me. Oh my gosh.
That's the one that I have not gone through yet. And that's kind of on purpose.
I just haven't found it yet.
Does it have those 3 songs?
It does have I Want to Be Your Hero, the B-sides from Hysteria, I Want to Be Your Hero, Riding Into the Sun, and what was the last one?
Riding Into the Sun.
Riding into the sun. What is the last one?
Oh, it's
Ring of Fire.
Ring of Fire, yeah. Those are Hysteria B-sides?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
But, yeah.
Alright, next.
Battle of My Own.
Doesn't do anything for me at all.
It's like Sea of Love, where I feel except that I don't have a memory currently of me listening to it being I actually really like this. It's more, it comes on, it's it's fine. I'm gonna skip it if it comes on, and I don't
have strong feelings about it, but I find myself singing it.
Okay.
I'm sure she's
going through this pretty quick now. Broken Hearted.
Okay, this one's
hearted.
It's fun.
I love that song.
It's catchy. I like it. It's definitely on the top side of the album for me. If you had to put a dividing line down the album, it makes the cut.
Yeah, it
I just like the rack and stack thing.
It's also just
Judge. I like the Judge.
I think it's just a cleverly phrased song. That's one that I find fun lyrically to sing.
Yeah.
It's very Def Leppard. A lot of background vocals, right? It's got a good. It's definitely Def Leppard.
Def Leppard. You can leave. Congratulations. All right. We're just gonna move on.
It's just
Good wraps up.
Forever Young.
Forever Young, and
doesn't
then
do anything for me.
Wait, it fades into the background, I think.
No,
it's just. I think it's pretty bland.
I have to agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
For sure, this was a front stack heavy.
Similar to Battle of My Own for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I enjoy it if it comes on. I'll find myself singing to it, but I'm not gonna seek it out.
Right.
Okay, Last Dance. We're gonna fight because I adore this song.
Oh yeah.
And it's his least favorite on the album.
Well, but it's not my type of song, which is why I don't necessarily like it. It's just not my bag.
Okay.
So I'm not saying it's bad.
It's just not your cup of tea.
It's just not my cup of tea.
Okay,
So
I can take
that. After our
Yeah.
concerts last year, because again that was my first time ever seeing them and all, and then we saw them twice, and then we knew we weren't going to see them for at least another year.
And it being over a year.
The song, I remember coming home, and we just graduated from school. We were severely sleep deprived because we'd been to 2 concerts during finals week and
Back-to-back days.
driven to Atlanta twice from Tuscaloosa.
Yeah.
And it was just a super long week, and then our parents all came for graduation. So I'm probably really sleep deprived. Anyway, this song came on when I was driving home, and I remember just wanting to cry and being like, they can never retire because it can't ever be the last
There
time.
must always be a next
always be a Leppard. And I don't know if it was the line in this song that's the one where we were gonna live forever, because we had some conversation about like how like. Yeah, we saw them twice back to back and all, but it is kind of one of the things like you don't know how long they're going to be touring, and so you take every opportunity to go see them and all that. Anyway, and this song comes on, and I just want to cry.
Yes, it does have that line of
yep.
"We're gonna live forever." Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway, that's taking the song completely out of context, but all to say that song does hit me right.
So.
Yeah. Just everything you just
put
said.
yourself into a situation where you can be easily brainwashed, and then listen to that song, and then now it affects you. That's what you're telling me.
I mean, I would like the song already. It is my type of song. I would have liked the song anyway.
Yeah,
I like the heartbreaker songs. You
No,
know?
yeah. I like the depressing stuff.
Right.
I like Gin Blossoms.
Well, that is a depressing song. That is a depressing song. I like the depressing songs too.
Yeah.
That's the point. You said this wasn't your type of song?
Stylistically, it's
and
not my
if
song.
the secretary would read back the minutes.
Right. It's stylistically not my song. Again, I'm not much of a lyrics person. It has to be literate first.
Okay, Wings of an Angel, I love.
I can't remember it.
Touched by the wings of an angel.
I think it's one of those that
like
I hear it on and I'm like, ooh, I like it, but then I catch myself not paying attention to it, and so I can't learn it.
It went into the background for me. I got distracted.
But I want to like it because I hear it and I'm like, yeah, this is catchy. It's a little different. It's a little more soaring.
I love this song.
It's a solid Def Leppard song.
Definitely the songs that I dislike on this album confuse me because they're like that, where it's like I listen to it and I want to like it, and then it just kind of disappears somewhere, and I struggle to pay attention to it.
So he says I don't have to worry about all the fandom of this. I can speak truth. But I think if you look at it objectively, several of these songs are very Def Leppard, but they're very generic Def Leppard. It's almost like an engine. How do we make a Def Leppard song? Background vocals, layering.
They don't have as much of the.
But none of them really
substance.
just catch me as some of the other songs.
Like Invincible does.
Good for you. Good for you. Good for you.
Oh.
Glad you got that for you.
Uh-huh.
Now, are we done with that one? We're going to the last one?
Blind Faith, which always confuses me because Blind Faith to me is the Warrant song.
How do you...
Alright,
Well,
I think I phrased this one well. Once again, we're going to kind of be on the...
Where do you think I'm at on this song? Where do you think I'm at on this song?
It? Because of the tubas?
I doubt it's tubas.
There are tubas?
Are they actual tubas? Are you sure it's not a cello or something?
It sounds like
there is some stringed instruments in there, but there's something there that sounds a heck of a lot like a tuba.
Hi, buddy.
How do you think I feel about this song?
I don't know. Probably don't like it.
I actually like this song, and I don't know why.
Alright.
Yeah, I was listening to it.
You were complaining about it beforehand, though.
I'm still going to complain about it, but I like it. It's probably the least Def Leppard song on here. I don't like it because it's that, and I think it's a little. They're trying too hard to pull off a Pet Sounds, Sgt. Pepper. I mean, there's a lot of weird instruments going on in there.
Sure.
Yeah, it's kind of like they were Let's Go was Let's Deliberately Write an Opener. This one was Let's Deliberately Write a very different song.
Absolutely. But I found myself kind of enjoying it. I can't remember which section of it, but...
So I still think I summed it up fairly
actually.
well, and like I listened to this, and I told her, we were sitting there, we were playing earlier, and it came on, or it was going to come on, and I was like, yeah, I really don't like the last song. And then it came on, and I was like, wait, no, I don't know what I was, like, I really like this song. And then, like, 3 minutes later, it was still playing, and I was like, can we Next. Like, that's how it's just in that like, there's like 4 songs, I think it was. Battle My Own, Sea of Love, maybe Forever Young on that list. Whatever, the Touched by Wings of an Angel, what's that one called?
Wings of an Angel.
And then this one, so maybe that's 5. That's all the others I love. These 5 are still in the category of I want to like them, and just they start to fade into the background somehow. That's this, and it still comes in that category. Where
Forever Young's probably my least favorite.
by the time it gets a couple minutes in, I really don't want to listen to it anymore.
Is there a deluxe release of other material in it? I don't think there is. I haven't seen one.
No, we can look this up.
We can look it up.
Yeah, I don't think there's one.
We don't need to wonder anymore because we live in the age of Google.
Mm-hmm.
Someone should talk while we're doing this.
About what?
Anything.
The tops
This
of
is
our
dead
heads.
air.
Tops of our heads.
Kick us off the radio.
So,
Right.
pick a favorite song off the album.
That is hard.
That's really hard.
Because the ones I like on here they're so different.
Well, there's no deluxe album. Well, at least not on.
There's a deluxe edition here. What's
Is there
on
extra
it?
tracks?
But is there extra
I
tracks?
don't know. What's on it? I think it's just the packaging.
Yep, no, it's
Yep.
only 14
Yep.
songs.
Okay.
It's not like that has those 2
Right.
bonus songs in the Target edition. I kind of hate that I asked
Favorite
that.
song?
I hate that I asked that question because I don't know that I have an answer.
Tell you what, I mean, there's
Again,
good songs. Well, if I had to pick a favorite, I mean, I'm not going to pick "Let's Go" because it is an opener. It's not a multi-purpose tool. Multi-purpose song.
An engineer.
We all are.
But we don't act like it.
That's very true. We're bad engineers.
You have engineering degrees.
Mhm.
I'm an engineer.
That's facts. That is a good
Yeah.
way to put that.
Oh no, that's what people are like, oh, so you're an engineer. I'm like, no, somebody give me a piece of paper that said I was an engineer.
Yeah.
If I had to pick a song, one song, I'd pick "Dangerous."
Okay.
Okay, so
You pick one.
yeah, so my struggle here is that there's songs on here that I would probably I think I would have to pick a separate song for what I think is the best song and what is my favorite.
Okay, well, what do you think is the best song?
I'm gonna pick Dangerous for that one
Okay,
too.
and then what do you think is your favorite?
My favorite, it's an extremely difficult choice. I'm gonna go with We Belong. Invincible
You
is
like
the
Invincible
is the other one that I might
Okay.
pick. I feel like Invincible is like my dark horse favorite. It's of the B list that you're unlikely to pick. That's the one. That's the one that's like up at the top.
Sure.
So.
Sure. Okay.
Those first 4 songs are so good.
I
the
also
same
know that
side.
of all of
Great.
these, how well Dangerous works live. I mean, it's
Dangerous is live, but honestly, of those 4, Dangerous is my least favorite.
Really?
Of those 4, yes.
Really? Even though
hands
Let's
down. Yes, I adore Let's Go.
Well, I play guitar so much, that's fine.
Yeah.
That works.
Whatever.
It's true. Yeah, which is
Dangerous is a much more guitar-heavy song.
Yeah, Dangerous is your guitar song. Bass is Man Lifts My Bass song. Ha.
I mean, I put "We Belong" as number
I
2.
feel
Let's
like
Go has a lot more of the
I'm
production.
gonna not say.
We should actually like rack and stack these.
I'm gonna not say Let's Go. We have
in the
little.
future. In the future. Well, yeah.
I'm gonna not say Let's Go. Which is really hard. I think I'm gonna go with Man Enough. But Let's Go and We Belong are right there.
As a bassist, that's your
Yeah,
prerogative.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm
But,
okay with that.
but yeah.
So I mean, you guys are the experts. Even though you're really recent
Damn
to
right
this
we are.
fandom, even though I've been there.
I'm
since
recent to this
back in
fandom.
the day.
She's life percentage-wise, she's...
How do you
Yeah.
think? Okay, it's only 3 years old. How do you think this album's going to age in terms of their overall work?
I mean, I think the problem with that is that people overlook it.
Sure.
So it never got the airtime, it never got
And
the
it will never get
attention,
the airtime.
and
I
it
think
never will. And so I think that's I think it's not going to age. I think it's going to get forgotten.
I think that's true of all their albums since Adrenalize.
Yeah.
They don't play that on the radio. I mean, that's
It's
sort of
not. It's not played on the radio. It's not. It never had a chance.
Right. If you call the radio station and say, "I want to hear some Def Leppard," they're going to Hysteria
And
or Pyromania.
They're going to
And that's-
specifically play
It's going to be
Sugar.
Photograph
Probably.
or Sugar.
they're gonna
Yeah.
play
Photograph or
Sugar,
Sugar.
Armageddon, Animal, Rock of Ages, or
Yeah.
Photograph.
And that's
Yeah.
the absolute list of what they're going to play.
Or Rocket.
So I think it's not going to. I think that even
I think
if
that's
that
a
were
shame,
not, well, I think that if that were not true, I think that I think that those 5-ish songs, that handful of songs that I think that we have mixed feelings on, I think that those would mean that the album as a whole would not age nearly as well as certainly the big 3, and maybe even a couple of their other albums. I don't think this would age quite as well, just because there are those handful of songs I think most people would feel like we do. And that it takes, you have to listen to this album enough, already give it enough credit to listen to it enough to get into those songs.
Sure.
Otherwise, you're going to be like, there's like 2 good songs on there.
Yeah.
I think those 2 songs might get pulled out. again, if it were to get the airtime and the attention, I think those couple good songs might get pulled out.
Yeah, of their newer, I think Sparkle Lounge and Euphoria are stronger albums than this one.
For sure.
So
For sure.
Sure. Really, but I really need to dive in.
Yeah, those. Honestly, I hate to say it, but I might like those more than like Pyromania and Energized. And
I'm a Pyromania person.
I like Pyromania, but
Pyromania.
I definitely feel High and Dry.
There's really only 3 songs I like on Pyromania, I think.
It's a shame.
I know.
Yeah. So
Pyromania is actually quick derailing this.
Absolutely.
Pyromania actually. What?
Record as long as you want. It's okay.
if they're here this long, they're gonna stay forever.
Cutting chocolates.
Are you still watching this? Thank you.
No, there's no editing.
We'll edit this out. What?
No, let's do this.
Pyromania.
Do you really want to do this now?
I really.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's.
Fun facts: when we came to tour this apartment complex, actually, we live here.
We didn't just break in.
We didn't just break in. Yeah.
The dogs are attacking us. They're not ours.
When we were touring here, so we actually had to drive up from Tuscaloosa. It's like a 2.5 hour drive.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like go to a part when you like look around for places.
I've never heard it.
Decide you want to.
Well, we toured around a bunch of different.
And we're looking at flats. Okay. Apartments.
We're talking about a British band. That's fine.
You're allowed. And one Irishman.
The best.
He's from Northern Ireland, right?
I love him.
I'll fight you over that Londoner.
You can have Phil. I will take Vivian.
Deal. We'll share Joe. That would be weird if you did. Point was, when we were touring here, we got done, we were ready to head back, we were going to drive home to Tuscaloosa, and actually it might have been when we came up to sign our lease, I don't remember. Anyway, she walks out and goes, alright, you ready, let's go. And no, you walked out and you said, in the words of Joe Elliott, let's go. And I looked at her and said, and in the words of the rest of the band, oh.
That was the best.
And she thought it was the funniest thing I've ever said. I'm not really that funny, as you can tell.
You're great.
No, it was great. The words of the rest of the band.
And the lady, did she just look
what
at you
I was saying about
blankly?
Pyromania, she wasn't
Pyromania
at the time.
Okay.
What I was saying about Pyromania originally, though, was that, again, if we were to rack and stack songs, there's probably a lot. It's not like every song off Pyromania would be on my top 10 list kind of thing. That would be the extent of the list. So
yeah.
But so it's not like every song on there is like, oh my gosh, I love this song so much and I love it more than any of the others kind of thing. It's just that album is actually one that when I was listening through it, it surprised me to find that every time that comes on, you hear those first chords of rock. And I'm ready to go.
That's a great opener.
And that's why I lean towards picking my favorites of anything based off of not necessarily what I think is. Like it might be different what I think is the best or think is my favorite versus what's my gut reaction when it comes on.
Well, right.
And for me, that's Pyromania comes on and I'm like, let's go. Yeah. Whereas sometimes Hysteria comes on, honestly, and this sounds like blasphemy to say as a Def Leppard fan, but Hysteria comes on sometimes and I'm kind of like, I've heard all these songs a bajillion times. Let's just keep going.
Well, that's a good point. I mean, I just said that Pyromania is not in probably the top 3, but then again, you go to a concert and they close with Rock of Ages and Photograph, and not much hits you better live than Rock of Ages and Photograph. Like,
there's 5 songs on that album I like.
So Coming Under Fire is highly underrated.
Yeah, I'm not.
You get the album behind you.
We can do show and tell here.
Signed by Rick Allen. Says for Becca.
That's me.
That's her.
Signed by Rick Allen, so yeah, it's great.
But yeah. Well, so how should we sum this up?
How should we sum this up?
Do the F?
Who's going to answer it?
It's a great
No
album.
one's going to answer the question.
We can ask a question. So we have this book.
Written
Becca,
by...
explain.
Written by Ellen
Generous.
McFarlane and James Saywell.
If you're watching this, we have lots of questions for you.
I don't think that he says many
book?
things well.
There is.
But that's his name. So, this is the book, and it sits on our coffee table or our side table, and people come over, and this is how we scar them, because they open it up, and they're like, oh, these are great conversation starters. Some of them are. There are some legitimately great conversation starters in here. Like, let's see if we can find one.
Page.
Some of those are friendship-ending questions.
If you were to pick a moment in history when, all things considered, the world was better off, what would it be? Fairly benign, straightforward would you rather if question kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Plenty of those.
There's some great ones. Then there's some doozies. So anyway, we thought it would be fun. I don't know why, because it probably won't be. It's gonna be scarring all of us.
Are we're all answering it completely random, or
it's gonna be completely random, and we're gonna just.
Okay, so
see if we
if y'all want to tell me when to stop, I'm gonna slip. You tell me to stop.
Yeah, stop.
Okay.
2.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Second
1
page.
through 4.
Just put your finger somewhere on the page. What's the question?
If you had to change your race, what would you want to be?
Okay, that was very benign actually.
Well, that's gonna be dangerous now.
Is that a reference?
No.
Let's
I
go.
don't know how to make references. I'm not.
You're not
that
man of the
smart.
art.
Oh! I'm invincible though. Are you feeling energized? I'm on an all-time high.
You just got
Wrecked. Blind faith.
Holy God. We belong here, but do you?
Clearly not.
Really?
So what race would you want to be in?
No, I was gonna ask you first.
I think an Eskimo because I like the cold.
Ooh.
Yeah, I like to have the genetics of a nice some hunting gathering.
You can't steal my answer.
Yeah.
Papua New Guinean.
I don't know. What should I be? I'm gonna have to pick like something with a fun accent.
Which is really much more
Whatever
environmental
Fez
than
was in that 70s show.
Yeah.
ambiguously South American.
yeah.
Islander, some
I like that
some kind of
answer.
Islander or
I'm
something.
gonna do
there, too.
Is it?
Fez's race.
I mean, he alternates because he comes from the beautiful island of something. He
Yeah,
said
really?
that, yeah.
He says that.
Yeah.
Oh, I never caught on to that. Okay.
No, I mean he never says where. That's the whole joke.
Sure.
But yeah, I'll be Fez's race. I like that. Thank
Okay.
you.
Very nice.
That's a good answer. All right. Well, that was a
Fantastic.
That was okay.
Easy
Yeah,
instructions via book.
we'll
Yeah.
save
Stay
those for another
tuned.
day. Basically, all you need to know is that again, those questions say a lot more about them than they do
about us.
Yes.
About
But we love the
writers.
book. Thank you for making it.
Yeah, no, we do. It's really our source of entertainment. It's why we're all
Absolutely.
friends.
Absolutely.
Well, not us. We
Sadly.
were friends
I
before
mean,
this, but it's why he sticks around. So.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, he picked it up off the table today. He goes, "Oh, look, my old friend."
It's a good book.
It's a good book.
It's a good book.
All right.
He
Well, this was
complains, but he really loves it, like the album.
So yeah, Def Leppard, go out and buy it. See what you think about it.
Yes.
All right. Bye.
Peace out.
Deuces.